Hello there, and a warm welcome to weekend edition of iBrand Daybreak. My name is Michael Nath, and I've got with me here my professional colleague and friend in the field, Margaret.
Yeah.
Opara.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Margaret.
How do you do?
There is no point asking if you're feeling good this morning because it's all in your smiles. Beautiful smiles.
You know I always like to smile.
And the hair do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, how do you do?
And how do you do?
Amazing,
Margaret?
thank you. It's a weekend and I'm excited. Not just because it's a weekend, because we're wrapping up the week in grand style, and we are starting up a new month in grand style too. And I'm super excited for this week. I've said it all through the beginning of the show, and it's an amazing one. So we promise you amazing lineup of events today, from the news update to newspaper review to the tweet central to topics for the day. These topics are interesting. You don't want to miss it. So we'd like you to send your thoughts on our live chat below. So right now we'll delve right into the news update, and the first story says the federal government has declared Monday the 3rd of May 2021 a public holiday to mark this year's International Workers' Day. The Minister of Interior, Garba Shehu, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated Nigerian workers for this year's celebration. He commended them for their patience, understanding, and support in driving the policies and programs of the regime of the President Muhammadu Buhari in its determination to move the country to the next level of socio-economic development. Garba Shehu, in a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Shaibu Belgores, called for more dedication and patriotism from all Nigerian workers. The minister added the government is putting all strategies in place to curb the challenges of insecurity in the country. I therefore call on the labor force and all patriotic citizens to be fully committed to the task of putting insecurity to a permanent end as much as possible.
And now the presidency has reacted to accusations leveled against President Muhammadu Buhari by the Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom over the insecurity in the country. Ortom had on Tuesday accused President Buhari of working for the Fulani ethnic stock to take over Nigeria in a reaction to the recent killing of residents allegedly perpetrated by herdsmen. But a senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, condemned Governor Ortom for blaming President Buhari for the deaths. He said, quotes, "The president expresses his condolences to the families of our dear citizens who lost their loved ones in the recent spate of killings in Benue State." Furthermore, the states that the rising levels of incidents, especially the killings and violence in various parts of the country, call for further collaboration with security agencies to curb its recurrence. Now, responsible government takes pleasure in such events as the killing of the military and that of innocent citizens taking refuge in internally displaced people's camp, he said. President Buhari is deeply pained by the terrible acts of violence happening not only in Benue State but also in other parts of the country, and expects that the law enforcement agencies will go to every possible extent to catch the perpetrators of these heinous acts and bring them to justice.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to restrict the inflow and outflow of agricultural commodities in the country. The resolution was passed at the plenary on Thursday following the unanimous adoption of a motion titled "Need to Control the Import and Export of Agricultural Commodities in Nigeria," as moved by Ibrahim Olarewaju. Based on the adoption, the House mandated its Committee on Ports and Harbour, Aviation and Agricultural Production and Services to investigate the matter, to recommend to the government the need to have the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service back to the nation entry and exit point. He also noted that to effectively control import and export at the ports of entry and exit, the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service was established to serve as a single point to command the first line of defense for all agricultural quarantine activities to ensure food security and enhance agro-export. Now, the lawmakers stressed the need to earn more revenue from the export of Nigerians' farm products.
Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday said there was nothing sinister about the funding for his 2017 political campaign to become president of the ruling party, the African National Congress. Ramaphosa was testifying for a second day before the judicial inquiry investigating allegations of corruption in government and state-owned companies during the tenure of his predecessor, former President Jacob Zuma. Ramaphosa disputed allegations that the money was used to buy votes. There is a legend that goes that the money was not used to buy votes. I told my comrades that I would never want to be part of a campaign that will descend into all these kinds of deviant behaviors that we talk about in the ANC about vote buying, Ramaphosa said. I even said I would rather lose the race rather than have votes bought, he added.
Meanwhile, in other foreign scene, Indonesia's drug regulator on Friday approved a COVID-19 vaccine produced by China's Sinopharm, which is due to be used in private vaccination scheme, under which companies can buy government-procured vaccines to inculcate their scarf. No detailed efficacy data of Sinopharm's vaccine has been publicly released, but its developer, Beijing Biological Products Institute, a unit of Sinopharm's subsidiary China National Biotech Group (CNPG), said the vaccine was 79.4% effective in preventing people from developing the disease based on interim data.
Finally, the Central Bank of Nigeria, as the apex regulator of the activities of commercial banks on Thursday, fired the entire membership of the board of First Bank Nigeria Limited and FBN Holdings, including its chairman, board of directors, Ibukun Awusika, and that the Apex Bank had earlier queried the board of the bank for the removal of Adeshola Adedotun and the managing director, chief executive officer, and appointing Bunga Fresh as MD CEO designate without regulatory approval. Now, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele announced the sacking of all members of the board of the bank for the supposed affront. He said, following further review the situation and in order to preserve the stability of the bank so as to protect minority shareholders and depositors, the management of the CBN, in line with its powers conferred on it by the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, has approved and hereby directs as follows: immediate removal of all the directors of First Bank of Nigeria Limited and First Bank of Nigeria Holdings PLC. CBN approves appointment of Tunde Hassan Odukale as chairman of First Bank of Nigeria Limited and reinstates Shola Adedotun as managing director. Emefiele said CBN acted to protect 31 million customers, minority shareholders, First Bank of Nigeria Limited. And that's the way it's been on the news updates. We'll take a break now. We'll come back. We have more. Of course, you have to expect the top stories on some of today's Nigerian dailies. That's when we return.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
watching weekend edition of iBrand Daybreak, and it's now about time we brought you the headlines on some of today's Nigerian dailies, and we got right here in the studio with us to thrash out some of the issues arising from the papers today. Laide Akano, by the way, is the scriptwriter and public affairs analyst. Laide, you're welcome to the show.
Good morning, it's my pleasure.
You're welcome, Laide.
The way you're looking this morning, as if you're going to go to the party directly after this show.
I mean, it's like,
It's like an O1 bear.
it's Friday anyway.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Oh, yeah. So you're already in the weekend mood.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're raising the curtain with the Punch. Senate summons Minister Atahiru on 199 billion naira anti-terror fund spending, with riders there. National Assembly Committee Chairman berates Ahmed for shunning invitation. And another rider there, soldiers lamenting lack of weapons to fight insurgents, alleges panel. At the topmost part of the paper, First Bank directors fired to protect customers, minority shareholders coming from the CBN. NSA dismisses threats to airports. NSCDC fortifies internal security. India, experts warn of looming danger. US directs citizens to leave. At the lower part of the paper, embattled Niger communities negotiate with Boko Haram. 20 million naira levy agreed. Federal government declares Monday public holiday for Workers' Day. Finally, residents confused over drowning of 17-year-old girl in Kwara State.
Right now, we move to the Nation newspaper. The screaming headline says NNPC memo, governors seek end to petrol subsidy. The writer saying federal government not moved by oil firms letter, and Labour awaits invitation for meeting. The top part of the paper says Mbaka slams political leaders over insecurity, and it's not time for local government autonomy. It's time, rather, for local government autonomy, says Jonathan. Page 5 carries the full story. And beneath the paper says, court reopens in Lagos as Jusun suspend strike. Monday is public holiday. And also on the top corner says, CBN sacked First Bank chair Awoshika, Otudeko and others. Adedunton is back as MD and CEO. And also, finally, how relatives others exposed amputee hawker. Full stories on page 4, and 11 suspects arrested in Oyo by Amotekun and OPC. Page 3 covers the full story.
From the Business Day, we have just one screaming headline there. Nigeria turns economics upside down as politics dominates. That's just about it.
Yeah,
on this paper. Business
Day, it's a business paper, and it's quite interesting. Meanwhile, the Garden paper says, look beyond military in war against insecurity. EU, European Union, tells the federal government of Nigeria. And the writers are saying, Falana queries Buhari's call for US help outside AU and ECOWAS, and experts disagree on Nigeria's invitation of AFRICOM. From Masari, state of emergency won't address insecurity, and tight security as National Assembly over alleged threat. Rivers imposes dusk to dawn curfew, and from the NSA, security agencies will monitor threats at airports. Meanwhile, still in the paper, Africa faces COVID-19 resurgence. The World Health Organization warns. CBN sack First Bank boards and reinstate. Senate demands arms expenditure from Ahmed, and the Federal Safety Corps deploys senior officers' orders in massive. Gunmen abducts 2 students, and fire killed 4, injured 7 in Rivers illegal. Yeah, that's just some of the stories on the Guardian. So thank you so much once more, Lydie, for joining us. So I would like to pick from the screaming headline on the Guardian paper says, look beyond military in war against insecurity, coming from the European Union to the federal government of Nigeria. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, the security is more about intelligence to start with. It's not just about gun, it's not about armored tanks, ammunition and all. Because in the first place, we have soldiers, we have security men all along, and we have faced all these challenges. That tells you that intelligence and people sharing information. But then, on the part of the government, if people share information, are these people protected? wouldn't somebody squeal back to the bandit or to Boko Haram or to the insurgent that information we used against you the other time
came from
so person? That is one. So, it's like in Europe, if anything happens, the first thing police will do is call for the cooperation of the people, provide us with information. And believe me, within 15 minutes, you could have about 1,000, some of them could just be false lead, but then police will not even blame you, even if it's a false lead. At least you have provided some information. And it's like you have cornered the criminals, because they too will now be waiting that, okay, which of this information is actually near home, which has almost captured the exact information about them. So the more the information range, the panicky, and that's how the criminals will make some mistakes that the police will now cash in on. So looking beyond the military, as the EU has called, is that government should try to ensure that people have confidence in the government. People have confidence that if they cooperate with the government will not betray them. So that is it. Because if something is happening now and you have an idea of it, imagine in Imo State, in many states, we have heard even government agencies saying that they want maybe the police, like the Imo attack. I read in one medium that DSS said they want the police, they want the governor.
Yes. And they ignored the warning.
So if the Department of State Security could, bring up such allegation, and it has never been denied.
Yes.
So then, how do you expect me, an ordinary citizen, to now have that confidence, to have some information which I could just maybe stumble upon? How do you think I would be confident to go to the police or to the...
Now, very, very briefly, we have no time. We have less than a minute to go. With the level or high level of sabotage, especially existing within the rank and file of the military, would you think that information, such as you mentioned, could come from civilians to the military?
Yeah, it's cool, because the peace of the peace in the bush is the peace of the animals in the bush. You know my point? So if I should think that because I don't trust the military, I will now, if anything happens, it will affect me, it will affect my family, it will affect, because if you are in Lagos, you have people in Kano, you have people in Port Harcourt, you have people in Enugu, you have people everywhere, at least friends. So, and even you are not a stationary being, you move around. So if you now say, okay, I live in Lagos, Lagos is safe, then you have something to do in Kogi and you fall victim. So we should, especially in these days of social media, we should just put these people on their toes as civilians, because they are the security personnel. So they are supposed to protect us, while they are protecting themselves. But again, now that Senate has called on the minister to come and account for how much they have spent, almost 189 billion, I think you read out in the papers. Let all Nigerians go on social media, let's make noise. Because soldiers keep telling us they don't have ammunition, they don't have weapons to fight, and we have billions of naira
being spent.
So what did you spend the money to buy?
Thank you very much.
That's a rhetorical question. Thank you so much, Laide.
Thank you very much, Laide.
Laide, I'll just call you Laide, Thank you for joining us on the show today.
My pleasure.
All right, then. We'll be speaking to Laide. He's a script writer and also
public affairs
analyst. So thank you for staying with us. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we have an interesting topic, and I'll just give you a run through of the topic. I won't give you everything because I want you to stay with us. That partners are asking, there are some partners asking if it's okay to check their partner's phone. Some are affirming to it, some are saying no, it's not okay. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Please share it on the live chat below. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll delve right into the topic for the day. Stay with us. True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming True unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your True unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix True unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your True unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distribute from Many thanks for staying with us on iBrand Daybreak. It's the weekend edition of the show, and now we delve into the topic for the day. Now, yesterday, a trend on Twitter asked if it's okay for partners to check their co-partners' phones. As usual, reactions kept flowing in, and I'll just read some of the reactions, the tweets we saw on Twitter now. At Keke Yatana tweeted and said, for people that don't check phones, is it because you believe in privacy in a relationship? That's a question. And replying to Keke Yantana, Afrodesiac 80 said, yes, I had an ex who read my journal and picked a fight with me over my entry. I haven't been able to keep a journal since. I wouldn't go through my partner's phone because that's the same kind of invasion. And at letter to Jack tweeted and said, grew up in a home where we don't even pick another family member's phone calls if they aren't there to pick your call unless we are specifically instructed to. I respect privacy a lot and also understand body language. I don't need to check your phone to know when something is wrong. And at Star Jane says, yes, also it's not my business what you choose to do behind my back. What you choose to do behind my back will eventually come to light. And at Fegedy said, I think the fact that you have to check phone is a big red flag in a relationship. Now, I would like to hear your thoughts, what you think. Would you check your partner's phone? Do you think it's necessary? Let's hear on the live chat below. So right here in the studio, I have with me my guest presenters, the beautiful and elegant Success Caminos and the amazing and bit controversial super amazing
I have to get the controversial title. It's fine.
And yes, my super professional and amazing super amazing colleague.
I'm very much around. Very interesting topic. Very highly controversial. Since you've during your introduction of Jidechi, you used the word controversial. So I think his contribution on this show is going to be super.
It's all right.
All right, so Jidechi, I would have loved to start with the lady, but now I just want to start with you. Would you check your partner?
I would go with Star Jane's tweet where she said, whatever I choose to do behind my back would eventually come to light. There's this thing people always ask, would you or would you not? And when people say you should, there's always the supporting statement that follows it. Anything you see, take it like that. That's the first thing that goes with snooping around. If you're going to snoop around in a relationship, just know whatever you're looking for, the percentage of getting it is higher. There's the likelihood of getting it. So I'd rather not be in the know and just wait for it to happen. It's far better that way. So snooping around is a no-no for me, actually.
Okay, all right. No, that's snooping. Now checking your partner's phone without him like trying to sneak, and whether he's sleeping, you just, or she's sleeping, you check. But Success, first let's move over to you. I know you were with us on the Tweet Central yesterday when we discussed this. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah. So this is something that is very common. Nobody should come for me.
No, nobody
with the female gender. Yes, I feel women have higher inclination to check their partner's phone than men, vice versa rather. So I just feel like first of all, it's terrible, but then there are things that would make a woman check your phone.
Oh,
yes, there are things that will make a woman want to check your phone. So there's someone that I know that started having issues in our relationship. The guy would stand up and go out at night and maybe make phone calls at night. Sometimes he'll say, oh, I'm just going out to get something, and then he'll take so long, and then when he comes back, you start seeing all these shady movements, and then the lady starts to check his phone.
That will raise suspicion.
Red flags, yes, starts to check his phone. I do not support you invading on your partner's privacy, but I would also advise that you don't do anything to make your partner suspicious of you in general.
Okay, Michael.
I'll see. For me, accessibility to the phone should be allowed between partners.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to also say that.
No, you finished. Okay, I may not mention the particular point you have in mind, but let me get done with mine first.
You will get done, yeah.
For both parties, male, female, that's those who have decided to spend the rest of their lives together as husband and wife, accessibility by each partner to each other's phone should be 100% allowed. Okay? Now, with that at the back of your mind, you cannot have anything that could spoil the relationship, that could raise suspicion exist on your phone, because you know that your other partner has access to it at will. That's number one. Number two, if there is any need for someone to snoop around, like trying to find out if there is any secrecy or something happening on the phone you do not know about that could be against your relationship but in favor of one of the partners. If such a thing exists and that would make you want to secretly go open the guy's phone or the lady's phone to check what the contents are, then it's better that relationship don't exist at all, because without trust, no relationship.
Without trust,
let me stop at that.
No relationship. So Chidechi, you were about
I was going to talk about accessibility. In as much as, like I said earlier, checking phone, snooping around. Let me put it the way I put it earlier. Snooping around is a no-no for me. The fact that you have to go and check to know what's going on. I think first of all, accessibility should be a thing in that relationship. Where questions now begin to arise is when that accessibility has dwindled, where you're not I'm somebody that many people who know me know, number one, I'm not really a password person. If I need to password my devices, I tell the password to people, except maybe my ATM, my bank, where the password I know is just for me, or maybe my social accounts and all those type of things. But once it comes to devices, password, if I'm going to have a password, you would know.
Sure.
And me having a password is possible because the device has been set that way that you need to set, like my iPhone now, there's almost a difficult, there's almost no way you can use an iPhone without passwording. And that's why I need to. So that way you have access to
each
my
other's
phone.
Okay.
And if you have access to my phone, I should have access to your phone.
Yes, sure.
So that when I know I am with your phone, it's not because I'm trying to snoop around, it's just because I'm using your phone casually.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, where the question now begins to arise is when I can't have that access any longer. So, but at that point, it's now for me to ask you, and that's where people now begin to have issues. When I now ask you and you're denying, and I still can't get that access, I think that's where snooping around, the desire to snoop around now comes into play.
Yeah, there's something Success said at the beginning of the topic. She said when you give people, I think that's just paraphrase now, when you give people the what's the word reason to be suspicious, because now, for instance, you have a partner's phone. Personally, like I said yesterday, I do not think I would, even if your phone is ringing, except it's an important call, you tell me, babe, pick my call, check who is calling. I might just keep your phone, even down to pictures. That's the thing. You show people one picture and they want to swipe. I do not even do that. Even when I realize I've done that, I go back to the picture and I will ask you for simple as picture.
I think that's what one of those tweets was also addressing. The person I mentioned, their family,
phone.
Can I
the phone
check?
rings and
It's
something.
like
within a family, it's not the same as within family members and between partners.
No, I am saying even me as a person in a relationship, I don't think there's anything that would make me want to touch your phone, except you start being like success. You start being secret. You know when maybe for instance I want to I'm out of data or there's no network and I want to use your phone and you're just trying to. I just know that would even make me want to check. But I try to resist the urge to check. But just like you said, that thing you're looking for,
I think it now brings us to the very big question. When you've been pushed to a corner that it's a battle between check or don't check, what should it be at that point?
It should be don't check, because you can always ask.
And that's what I'm saying. You've been pushed to a corner that even when you've asked, you still don't get
then
your
you leave
answer.
the relationship. There's what he said.
It's simple.
He said,
no trust, no relationship.
And
Simple.
even someone who tweeted that if there's any reason why I should check in the first place, that's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
I feel like it lowers it's degrading to me to have to ask you, okay, what's going on? Why don't I have access to did you change your password, babe? And then you say, oh yes, and then you refuse to tell me the password, and then I need to use your phone. In fact, and then I mentioned something yesterday, and then you are having your bath in the bathroom, and then the phone rings, and you come out with soap all over your body, and you have to, no. I'll leave the relationship because you're disrespecting
right
me.
away.
It's very, very disrespectful.
You know now sometimes an incident that happened. Someone had his phone wasn't passworded, but he was doing some other stuff and outside the relationship, and his girlfriend didn't see the need to check because his phone wasn't passworded. I think that was a manipulative approach. He was doing some, so he literally had some messages on his phone, but because he didn't password his phone, the girl didn't say like, okay, my boyfriend didn't password his phone, so there was really no need to check. But really, he actually told me he's a friend of mine. He told me he just played on her
I think
side.
that those are the type of people you should be scared of.
Actually,
I don't want to play all sense here. The truth is that if I was to do anything in a relationship, I'm that kind of person.
Oh wow.
I'm not somebody who is.
Whoever is crushing on Judy's cheeks, be careful.
I'm not saying I would.
Okay.
Those are the worst kind of people. People that are not private, they are not hiding these things. But the truth is that they are
doing it,
and you just don't do it because you still have access
to it. But you don't really see a need to check because you feel like if you didn't password the phone, then it's always the same.
There is someone that said that his girlfriend knows that he's a chronic cheat and she's all right with it. I feel like it takes a level of boldness to do that. You guys are not married, so I am a fan of, I will not say I'm a fan, but I do not mind people that want to date people more than one person at a time, to be honest, as long as you're not married and you're not in a committed relationship yet.
All right, thank you very much. For one of time, we still have a lot more to talk about here. Another interesting topic here, and this is coming from a Twitter user at DeJokeCaru, and he tweets, "Men prefer women who are wicked and don't reciprocate their energy. They don't like when a lady really like them, go all out for them, and is willing to make things work for them." And another Twitter user at Nancy Greeny replies, "I have never seen a truer tweet today. They prefer ladies that will give them a hard time, reply their messages days later. The one that a lot of guys are chasing after, the one that doesn't have their time." Taylor Swift was right when he said, or she said, men only want love if
when
it's torture.
Oh, can I talk? Okay.
The name of that song is Blank Space.
Oh, that's the title of a song.
Of the Taylor Swift song that says, boys only want love if it's torture. So, and I agree.
Yeah, okay.
I really agree because there's something about men and challenges. When something is not challenging them, this is my personal opinion right now. When something is not challenging them, when they are not fighting for something, they just get bored. You agree with me that men get bored easily. So when it comes to relationship, you need to give them what you chase. Is it true?
Why let's have this man. Why do ladies actually think we always want to
because you do that.
No.
You do that.
Do not generalize. Can I tell you something?
There are always exceptions.
Can I tell you something?
Okay.
If that is stock in trade, you must have lost a lot of interesting men out there.
No.
Because most men, can I tell you this? Most men are so business conscious. They don't have time to waste.
Once
you see me, once I approach you, I expect you to respond positively immediately. I have no time to waste.
I'm going to correct a notion.
I know those tweets are from ladies.
Let me correct this notion before you move on.
Okay.
Digichi. When we say men like to have something to chase, we're not saying a woman who gives attitude. We're not saying a woman who is arrogant, who is annoying, who is obnoxious. We're saying a woman who knows her worth and will not lower her standard. You have to.
You don't lower your standard by pretending to be playing hard to get.
Not pretending.
You don't lower it.
It depends on the stage of the relationship. If you're just meeting a woman and she just gives you everything, would you be interested?
When you say everything, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, guys. Now the thing is, I wouldn't want to be biased, but I'm talking as a woman now, and I'm talking as a woman who has a lot of male friends that are more. I think majority of my friends are guys.
Okay.
Majority of my friends are guys, and we are cool. We are cool. They have
say that again.
They have wives, and I'm cool. We are cool. But then I've had to have conversations with these guys, and really and truly, if this tweet, I'm not relating to it because I'm a lady. I'm relating to it as a professional. Yeah. I don't know about other generation, but the guys I have as friends, they'll tell you, the lady that goes all out for them, they see her as desperate, and they see her as she just wants
no value.
Except very few of them that will know that a lady you meet today asked today out and she said yes today might really not be cheap. But majority of them will tell you, I ever saw a skit.
It was too easy.
I ever saw a skit. A guy was trying to ask a lady out and she said yes immediately. He was like, you don't even do shakara small. Now that's a skit coming from a guy. No, you know those kind of things. And as a lady, you have to. Men need something they can chase. I'm sure.
Don't generalize.
Do not generalize.
There are always exceptions. There are always exceptions.
You have
for the majority.
And I'm not saying you have to, when the man needs something he can chase. You have to ask you out today. You say no tomorrow. He start running around. Me, I don't even like guys that do that. I feel like don't you have what to do?
I wonder.
I don't like.
I wonder.
No, I'm talking.
You see, you're kind of supporting what I say. Business-minded men out there don't have any time to waste.
Oh, they do. They make time.
One of the things I've always had an issue with is the Nigerian society, the Nigerian relationship, or I call it dating society. In Nigeria, we've made it seem like a guy must always have to chase a lady for him to get her.
But it's exception.
I don't think it's similar. No, I don't think it's similar to what we have abroad.
You're not abroad like
no, at all. No, but at least from what we see in the movies, from what we see on the television, I don't think it's that bad. In Nigeria, it seems like for you to get a lady, you have to.
It's our tradition.
You know one of the people I have issues with the most.
Okay.
People that say things like, this guy he chased, he begged me, he told me, he was telling me he liked me for like 2 years, this and after 2 years. Me.
Sometimes will get you after getting you, they punish you for punishing them.
The moment I try twice, that's it for me.
That means you did not really like her.
No.
It means you didn't really like her.
That is that I don't like the stress.
In fact, it could also be likened to
men that will stress.
I've been telling people that are crushing on Jidechi, be very careful. He's not going to chase you.
It could also be likened to a lady you know, initiating the move, like going. Do you understand? Initiating the move, approaching the man first.
The thing I think we have to end on this note too. The fact that yes, there are men that are actually like that.
Yes,
but let it not be that it's a case of all men.
It's not universal at all.
Nobody said all men. I said if you listen, I said majority. I'm not just about to wrap up the show now. I would always stand with the fact that when you say a man needs what to chase, it's not a woman that is doing shakara. Like I said, personally, I don't like men chasing. If I like you from the first day, I'll tell you yes. I don't even need to. Like me, I don't have.
What are we talking about? You're the real lady.
Even if she says yes,
like him, tell him right away.
I mean, a man who looks for what to chase is. After saying yes to him, if you're not really what he wants, if he starts that's what we mean by a man needs what to take. He wants to, babe, where are you? Come to my house today. I can't come and
even if she says yes, she has to enforce her standard. She has to enforce her standard. Even if she says yes. No, I'm not all alone, and I don't mind being all alone. I feel that even if I meet you and say, oh, I'm attracted, I will tell him, pop and play, oh, I'm attracted to you. But you know what? Relationships go beyond attraction.
Oh, sure.
And that's
I agree with you
we are talking about here.
Thank you, success. Thank you, Jidechi. If you have a lady you like, please chase her.
Please chase her.
If you have a guy you like, chase him.
Just do what works.
Chase after him.
After people I know they met their husbands through, hey guy, I like you. So everyone is fine now. Thank you so much, success. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, we take a very, very short break now. When we come back, Success is still in the studio to bring us up to speed with what's happening in the world of entertainment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Market just make you go buy fresh palm fruits. When you reach house, you go wash, you go pound, your body go dey pain you, even your fingernails go dey pain you. But make una no worry, make una relax. I get good news for una. Una don hear of Bunga Fresh palm fruit extract. All you need to do now make you go for the open am. Take the amount wey you want, put am for your pot. Which soup you wan make? Shey na egusi, shey na ogbono, shey na vegetable, shey na banga. My sister no waste time again. My brother no waste time again. Just go buy Bunga Fresh palm fruit extract. They go know say you sabi cook and you be better cook.
Banga, make your food yummy yum.
Distributors needed nationwide. Phone number 081-6397-4447, 080-3564-4436, 070-6663-8213. Bunga Fresh.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the entertainment corner of the iBrand Daybreak. My name is Success Kaminis. Now, Netflix pulls down new Elvis Chuck's produced movie Slay over copyright infringement. Global streaming platform Netflix has taken down its newly released Nollywood film Slay over claims of copyright infringement. Now, the movie, which had already hit #1 spot in some countries, was yanked after Ghanaian songstress Wendy Shea called the producers out for using her song as one of the film's soundtrack without her authorization. Now, Wendy Shea tweeted this, and I'll just read her quote. "So I watched this movie last night on Netflix, and my song All For You was featured without my consent or that of my management. Producers of the movie Slay, it is a crime to use someone's intellectual property without her consent." Now, she also said, kindly do the needful or I will see you all in court. Now, neither Netflix nor the film's producers have publicly addressed the singer's claim. Produced by Elvis Chucks and directed by Adze Uga, Slay stars Ramsey Noah, Idris Sultan, Amanda Dupont, and other celebrity actors from the continent. The comedy premiered on the streaming platform on 26th of April 2021, and this will not be the first time Netflix has made headline over copyright infringement allegation with its Nigerian titles officials. Now, last year, Toboremid Ovure, a Nigerian investigative journalist, accused producers of Netflix original Oloture of copyright infringement. She alleged that the movie was an adaptation of her 2014 sex trafficking report. Now, this is getting very serious, and I think it's finally dawning on our filmmakers how serious copyright claims should be taken. In the meantime, it's #BringBackSlay. Now, that's all we have from this segment. We love to read your comments. Make sure to drop them on our live chat. Back to you, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Success, for that wonderful story. A person should just try to get permission from adequate authorities before using whatever does not belong to them, just so all of this issues would have to come up in the near future. And now a lot of things have been happening on Twitter, and if you're just tuning in, you've missed a huge part of the show, but not to worry, we'll have a repeat belt for it. And on Monday 9 a.m. on the dot, we are live again, so please tune in just so you do not miss any of the interesting segments. Now, Twitter always has a lot for us. Now, what's happening now, you remember the federal government has declared Monday the 3rd of May 2021 a public holiday, and that's because normally 1st of May should be a public holiday because it's May the celebration Workers' Day, but it falls on a Saturday. That's tomorrow, but it's not a weekday, and then the federal government has to move it. The public holiday should be observed on a Monday instead. And now it's trending on Twitter. You know, anything can trend on Twitter. Anything, including your pen, your cap, everything can trend on Twitter. Now, at iBrand says Nigeria has too many public holidays for a country that is poor and hungry. Replying to that, at Omoroge said, I've been saying this like forever. Nigeria is like a poor man that likes sleeping all the time. Oh wow. Ooh. That's a lot of slander. A lot of slander.
Is Nigeria really poor?
Well, that's the topic for another day. Now replying to Ayobankole too. Please, no attack on our public holidays will be tolerated though. This is what I really wanted to. So at now that was coming from Odauduene, and now replying to Ayobankole, Doc Phil said they are useful to those who don't remember to take time off work though. Oh well. And still replying to Ayobankole, Aruwaisa replied and said, my guy, leave this matter. It's not by hard work. If we were productive enough the other days, we would have been better off. Moreover, production is not impacted by the holidays. Of course. Factories continue production, oil wells produce, etc. So the holiday is not a problem. And media houses also come to work. So even without the holiday, even if there are 5 public holidays in a year, in a week, on Monday to Friday, our public holidays, Success, Michael, Margaret, the production team, we still be at work. So
the show will go on.
The show cannot stop. You know, that the public holidays are the days you will need us more, because those are the days you stay with your family.
Sit back and watch us on your TV screen.
All right, so about this, I really do not support the guy who said Nigeria is a poor country who likes sleeping all the time. Holidays do not mean other countries, US, the UK, other countries observe the same holiday. So I think
they are still more productive. People interchange smart work and hard work. Hard work is not always as even productive as smart work.
No, not at all. Smart. There's no room for comparison.
Exactly. So we all have. Every country in the world has 365 days or 366 days. But Nigeria is poor not because maybe they were shortchanged or what. It's the same time all over the world.
We have 24 hours.
There are countries that are doing well even with their public holidays. So what are you saying?
And there is something that could be going on which people do not realize yet. When you force people to rest, okay, take days off work and rest at home, when they bounce back at their workplaces, you see renewed vigor, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying? You may not know it, but it's there.
Well, I think everyone should look for a time to rest, no matter how little the time is, just so you don't break down. If you break down, your work is still going to continue, and then the work needs you. I can't imagine my show without my Conat. Oh my God, of Success coming. It would be, imagine me coming to talk to you morning to morning, you get bored. So just take time to rest and make sure you have an amazing public holiday. It's May Day celebration, it's Workers' Day, it's my birthday. So
Yes, it's Margaret's birthday tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. Tomorrow is going to be
I
it.
keep sounding this so much. I think the viewers are so tired of it. But yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. But well, I just wish you a happy May-Day celebration. Make sure you rest, have enough rest. Before we wrap up the show, I'll leave you with this quote from Socrates. It says, "An unexamined life is a life not worth living." In all you do, examine your life. Give yourself checks every now and then. Ask people you trust, what do they think? Examine your life all the time, just so you make it worth living. Wrap up the show today, but before we do, would like to say I and my crew would like to say a big thank you to all of you who have made this production a success from Monday till today, from the production team, everybody down to you, the viewers, because without you, there is no iBrand Daybreak. So thank you so much. Join us again on Monday, 9 a.m. on the dot. My name is Margaret Opera.
And my name is Success Kamini. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Thank you.
You tell us where it's happening, Margaret. That's tomorrow.
That's the reason for the long pause, because we were waiting for you to say, oh, the party is happening at so and so.
We're going to get it.
Well, I'm praying for 3 hours. I'm a Christian, so if you want to join me, I'll send the link to join me.
It's all right. Happy birthday, Margaret.
Thank
and
you.
for you out there, have a fun-filled weekend.
iBrand TV. Business first.